Hey guys, welcome back to Brandon the Fat Man. I'm excited about today's video. I got some fun things going on. I want to say I'm sorry for a delay. We'll explain that in just a minute. It wasn't my fault, wasn't anybody's fault really, but I've got an exciting video for you. It's going to take place, some of it already took place, some of it will take place later, but we'll get to that in just a minute. We'll catch you on the other side. Yeah, so that was over a week ago. Things got a little different than I thought they were. They'd already been messed up and things got a little bit different. So let me explain a couple of things real quick. I had gotten testing papers for our martial arts, Chunjito, that I've talked to you guys about before. And so did two of my kids. And once I got those testing papers, knew I was going to be testing for a higher rank, I knew that the next video I did, I wanted to be about that testing. And so I wanted to show you some videos of testing and everything like that. So we got to testing day and we were all ready and pumped and excited to test. And the power was out at the building that we have our dojo and everything. So that threw things off. We were supposed to test that day. We couldn't because the power was out. Nobody's fault. It happened. We had some bad weather, ice and stuff like that a few days before, and I don't know if that affected it or what. But so anyway, our testing got postponed. And normally what happens is we test on a Saturday. Anybody who can't test can make it up on Tuesday, and then we find out the results and get our belts on the following Thursday. So that was my goal, was, you know, we get some recorded stuff on Saturday, and then on Thursday, as long as I did well enough, that I would get my new rank. And then that night, and maybe Friday, because Friday's my day off normally, Friday I would be able to put together a video for you. And so that was what I thought was going to happen. Well, testing didn't happen. We ended up testing on Tuesday, and then normally that would work out because some makeup testing was going to happen on Thursday. Normally that would work out, but maybe that Saturday, which is when I made that video, we would get our promotions if possible. But there was already something on the docket scheduled, and so a lot of our people weren't going to be there, so we didn't do promotions then. So promotions didn't happen to the following Tuesday. So that put us out, and then some promotions happened on Thursday and stuff. So what you're going to see here in just a second, for you, just a second for you, is I'm going to go through some of these videos. I'm going to show those videos, and at the same time, I'm going to kind of explain some of what's going on. This is a little bit different video than what we normally do, but I want to kind of show you the benefits of this kind of training and working out and stuff, because there's a lot of different movements, a lot of different things that we do. And it's awesome. It's been a great experience, of great exercise, but it's so much more than exercise for me too. And so I want to show you that stuff, but I've got to do a bunch of editing first, and I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. So I'm going to time warp you. We're going to do the editing, and then you're going to be able to come straight to me. So we're just going to do one of these things, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so that portion of the editing is done, so you got to fast forward through it, which is awesome. So what we're going to do, I'm going to watch this with you guys, and we're going to go over some of the different things about this. So I want to tell you a couple of things, just so you can know, looking at this, what's going on, and then I'll tell you about some of this. We're going to start off with some stick movements. In the art that we do, there's 12 stick strikes. Now there's some variations on that, which end of the stick you use, placement, high, low, whatever, all those things. I'm not going to break down how all that works for you, because one, you know, I don't have the authority or the right to teach any of this stuff. I am a green belt, and I'm working as much as I can to get better and more knowledgeable about everything and earn my way. but I'm not going to just go teaching. I also want to stress a couple of other things. One, I don't want anybody trying any of this stuff at home. I'm showing this to you to show you the kind of exercise side of things that we do. I will be a little bit more informative with it, but I don't want anybody just to think, okay, now I see how they're doing this, so I want to try this. I don't want anybody getting hurt from that. If you want to try out Chun-Jito or any other martial arts, then you can sign up and you can go, and most places will have a free class or two for you to understand if it's something you're going to like or whatever before you start paying for it and everything. So I highly recommend this being one avenue of exercise for you, because it exercises more than just the body. It exercises body and mind, and it's just so much more than just exercise, but it is great exercise for you. It builds strength in so many different ways, build endurance. It does a lot of different things. I will also tell you that my wife is the one filming this on her phone. She is not my videographer. She's not doing this with the intent of filming things for my videos. She's filming this because these other two that you're going to see in here most of the time, the two that are green belt right in the videos, I'm blue belt in this, high blue belt in this video, or in these videos, and then I get promoted to green. But they are high green, actually, is what they are. They are my kids. They are two of my kids. There were several other people testing that day, but we had to go a little bit at a time and break things up a little bit different than we normally do, because we didn't have the entire use of the dojo, because there was another class, or the regular class, going on for those who weren't testing. That's not normally how we do it, but like I said, because the power outage and all that stuff, we had to switch things up and make things work, and it went smoothly. So we're doing these sticks, and that's what you see, but you may see sometimes the video cuts me off a little bit, because hey, let's face it, any mom's going to want to video their kids over their husband, and I don't blame her at all, and I'm glad she did, but I'm using what we've got, and so I'm going to go through these with you. So let's go ahead and jump into this. This one is just going through the 12 strikes of our sticks, and again, there's variations of where, and right now we're going together because we're going at the count of one of the instructors when to do it. Now this next one we're going to go, and he says to go at our count. So you're going to see that I'm going a little bit faster than my kids. And that's just simply because actually I'm a drummer and I picked up sticks pretty well. It's been something that I've very much enjoyed. Now we're moving on to, that is our Grandmaster. He's the one who created this program. And he told me what strike he's coming at me with. And that I need to block and then do something afterwards. And then we're doing the other side as well. And it's just always good when you're testing and when you're learning anyway to do different strikes, different things, and learn different ways of doing it. So I did a different strike after each block so I could mix it up a little bit and have a variety of things available to me. So that is that. Next thing we're moving on to, you're going to see we're rolling. And this is a cool thing, because anytime you fall, and you'll see actual falls later too, there's a good way. These are good ways to be safe while you're doing so. And some of this we did when I was playing soccer a little bit too. You get slide tackled. You can roll into it to be safe. You step on a ball wrong, you got to be able to roll and some things. So this is what we're doing next, is our rolls. And some of us who've been doing this a while, we get to jump straight into it. And so you see what we do is we roll straight forward and then turn around and get ready for a fight. And then next we are moving on to some kicks. As they're getting this ready, I'll pause that for just a second. These kicks, when we test for kicks, it's interesting. They're looking at technique, obviously, but they're also looking at power, making sure that we're giving what we're supposed to be doing. But when we give, a lot of times when you put your all into something, when you give as much power, or if you throw a ball as hard as you can, then your accuracy drops. And so when we're testing, one of the reasons why they do this is they want us to have power, but they also want us to kick where we're supposed to kick on this bag, and make sure that we're actually watching what we're doing and everything too. So this is just a few different styles of kicks. We're going to let this play through. This one is a backspin kick, I believe, coming up here. And this is one of the hardest ones for me, simply because when I'm facing in a direction like this, I cannot see very well where my leg is going when I kick up, because I can't kick very high and I've got a big body to look around. And then on these, not only am I kicking that way, but I'm also spinning around, so I have to get my eyes around as fast as possible. And a lot of the times I'm really just kicking blind because I just can't see that far over with my body and everything in the way. It just, I can't get there. As I get smaller, then it's going to be better. So these are the kicks that we're doing. Yeah, and we did, I believe 4 there. I don't know. I kind of talked through some of that, and then this is number 5, I think, of those kicks. Next thing we're going to do is some crescent kicks. These are hard for me to get up high, but I want to direct your attention to the one in the middle. That's my daughter. She is 13 years old. She's barely over 5 foot tall. I'm 5 foot 5.5 or whatever. Not quite 5'6", I don't think. And the gentleman, like I said, Grandmaster, is holding, he is over 6 foot. So the dynamic of height there is funny. And just watch where, you could watch me a little bit too, but I think she's a lot more impressive here. So it's fun to watch. Oh, I'm sorry, these are the back hook kicks. But you see how high, she is kicking higher than I am. And I am over 5 inches taller than her. She's getting her foot up much higher, and look at the accuracy that she's doing this with, despite the height, and she's just staying with it. I think it's very impressive. I'm cut off a little bit. You can see me. I'm able to get up there and get it higher than what I would expect. These are the crescent kicks, and these are the fun ones for my daughter, because he holds it here, she kicks high, gets it, and then he starts to take it up a little bit on her, to see how high she can go. And oh, she missed that one. But I want you to realize, again, he's over 6 foot tall. She is barely 5 foot. He's holding this at chin level, that pad up at chin level, and she's getting up there and hitting that pad with her foot. I just bragging on my daughter a little bit there. So sorry about that. But yes, these kicks are, their control, their balance, and they're very useful technique on if you are sparring and things like that. One of the reasons why you can train with kicking the arm or hand like this, because it's a very effective thing in actually kicking a fist away. Somebody's blocking something, you can kick it away with that kick and move on. This is kata, and I'm going to actually pause it right here, tell you a couple of things about this real quick. Kata is something that's misunderstood in martial arts, and it's not something that people really get until they get into it. But every move that you do, I know kata kind of looks like a dance a lot of times, but every move that you do within a kata has a purpose, has a reason, and they're put together into this one grouping of motions, and they have different names because of they flow together for a purpose. And at the time that they were created, there was a purpose that they were created in the way they were, and so many of them are different. So you see my 2 kids there, they're doing a different kata than I am because they're higher rank than I am. And so they started about a year before me, but they're going much faster than I am. And you'll find actually they're going to finish before I even get halfway done with mine. And that's because of the nature of the kata that I'm doing. So theirs is fast, fluid motion, powerful strikes, all those different things. They got some balance things going on with theirs, and I can't speak too much on theirs because, again, they're higher rank. I haven't done that one yet. With mine, it's breathing, It's a combination of tension and release into power. It's a lot of things going into this one, and it's unique. And I tell you what, as slow moving as it seems to be, which it is the hardest one I've had on breathing, on continuing to breathing, and because it takes a lot of breath to go through this. So it's a unique dynamic watching the two. We usually do this twice. I believe this is my second time through, if I remember right. So this was the only one. I didn't want to make you guys watch both of them for one, but for two, this is the only one I think that had all three of us the whole time. I was cut out a little bit on the first one because it was a vertical recording. But anyway, so let's go ahead and watch this. And it's like I said, you see it's tension all the way down to there, snaps into those strikes, comes back around, and it's a slow breath in. And as I'm going up that entire time, I'm breathing in through my nose till I hit there, and I start exhaling as I have tension going down, and then exploding into those strikes. And you see, this is only my third time through it. We'd only do it 3 times there. My kids are just about to finish their kata with 2 more moves here. One there, out, and then out. And they're done, and I'm not even halfway. So my halfway mark is probably right here. And so it's quite interesting how different it is. But then you see, I have some faster moments on that kata, and then I have some slower moments. And each of these, some of these are strikes, some of these are grabbing, some of these are blocks. There's a intention and a purpose to every single move that goes on in any kata out there. And kata is one way that you can learn proper technique, by doing proper kata and then learning what those techniques are for, why you do them. So kata is an awesome thing. So that was the finish of my kata. And so the next thing is I should have put this with the rolls. I didn't, but it's here. Oh well. This is the falls. We're doing some back break falls is what they're called, but basically falling straight backwards. And not actually straight backwards, because that would be falling like a tree. We don't want to do that. These are safe ways of falling. And it's demonstrated actually with my first fall. You'll see it here. The one in the red shirt, it's not really a shirt, but we'll talk about that another time, is one of the masters. He is the second highest rank there right now. He's been taking for many years, actually since he was a child. And he is very good, and you're going to see some of his skills in a little bit. But he is going to push me, and you'll see he does not take it lightly on pushing me. And so that's one representation of how this fall can be used. I will tell you, I was taking out a door, fixing my house, not this past winter, but the winter before, before we bought this one we're in now. And my buddy and I were taking the door out, and I fell and fell down the stairs, and I actually used a back break fall to be able to fall, and I actually did not get hurt. And that's one way it works. Even though I was on the steps, it was concrete, it was cold, I was able to keep from getting hurt. I believe he fell too, but yeah. So these work. This is beneficial. So you'll see here. I'm going to line up along with another student, and then he's going to come straight in, and he is going to push me down, and I use that back break fall. I'm not going to critique my fall because I would be overly critiqued, but you're going to see me now. I fall without a push, and that's what the practices are for. We get it ready to be able to do those pushes like that. This is what's called a choke throw. If somebody were to come up from behind you and grab you from behind in a choke hold, this is a way of throwing them off. And it's a very effective thing. And I'll tell you, you don't see it here because it wasn't here. And that's a major hip throw is what that one's called. But you don't see it here because it was a different time. But my son, who you see in there as well, not in this portion, but you saw him doing kata along with my daughter and those kicks and stuff. He weighs 120 pounds, and he threw a guy with the choke throw. Legitimately, the guy didn't jump, didn't do anything. He legitimately threw a guy that weighs well over twice his weight. I believe he weighs like 250, 260, something like that. Not too long before this test, a few days before this test. And it was so exciting to watch. It was so cool. And we were so excited about it. But yeah, he actually got down and he threw him over, just like I threw this guy. Now, different dynamic here. He's much lighter than me, so different. So, but this one's another one, you know, if somebody's throwing a punch, you could come in around and throw. Throws are so much fun to do. And once I get light enough, then maybe somebody will be able to throw me. Because of my shortness and my weight, it's hard for people to be able to throw me in. We're going to be doing breakings. I want to explain what these boards are. Excuse me, these are plastic boards that have teeth that interlock. And so each board represents a different amount of actual thickness of wooden boards. I believe the brown board, which is what I break for all three of these, is equivalent to 1.5 inches of wood. I believe is what that is. So that is right now, it's not supposed to be the strongest board, but our blackboard is, but our blackboard has been used and abused over the years. Let's just say that. So it's a little bit easier to break. So I'm going to stop for a second because we went through that. So this is a ox jaw. I couldn't think of the name of it. So breaking like this, I absolutely want to stress this. Do not try to break a board without having knowledge of how to do it properly first. Do not try to get boards and break them. We were trained on how to do this, how to do it properly, and it's being overseen by very much trained professional and many other very trained people. And especially one like this ox jaw, if you don't do it right, it hurts. And trust me, I know, because I didn't do it right before and it hurt. That's what this one is, an ox jaw. This next one, it goes really fast because I take no warm-ups. This is called an axe kicks. Just bring your leg straight up and bring it down. That's an oversimplification because I don't want you trying it. So I don't want to tell you how to do it exactly because I don't want you trying it. And this last one is called a ridge hand, breaking with the ridge of your hand. And again, all of them, I use that brown board. All right, guys, we're going to pause the video right there. And it's getting a little bit too long, so we're going to do a part 2. So this was part 1. Thank you for watching. And we'll get to part 2 here in the next couple of days. I love you. God loves you. And we'll see you next time.